everybody. Great day for baseball. I'm Jim Houston.
And I'm Buck Martinez, anxious to start this ball game for EA Sports.
Tonight's game is featuring the Montreal Expos and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, Buck, let's get on with tonight's ball game. What's going to be a factor tonight for Montreal?
White could be a real key here today. He's a big contributor to this team, and whenever he's on, he always puts his team in position for a W.
All right, everybody in their seats. Let's get this one started. Leading off for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Tony Womack. Split finger inside. 1-0. Hit to center field. No problem. One out and nobody on. Line drive to third base. A base hit by Young. One out, one on. Next batter, Jermaine Allensworth. One and oh. Line drive up the middle. Hey, safe at second. Great hit. One out and runners on first and second. Up next, Al Martin. It's a ball. Fastball low and inside.
This guy is really struggling out there on the mound right now. They'll probably have the hitter take a pitch or two.
Goes with the pitch down the left side. Hey, safe at second. And a run scores. To the plate, Jose Guillen. Sprayed down the right side. What a great catch. Got him. They turn two.
Boy, the pitcher made a good pitch, got the ball he was looking for, and they were able to turn the double play.
So, Buck, got any stories you'd like to share with us?
Jim, since we have a little time here, did you realize that Jim Palmer, with 186 wins, was the winningest pitcher in the 1970s?
Now we'll be able to sleep tonight, Buck. Fly ball, easy play. One out and nobody on. Next up, Rondell White.
You know, if the infield's back right here, he can put down a bunt.
Deep fly ball to center field. Hey, you could have caught that one, Buck. Two outs, nobody on. Up next, Vladimir Guerrero. Line drive up the middle. That's a nice single.
Jim, that was a great at-bat. He just put the ball where the fielders weren't.
Oh, hit weakly to center field. They're in business.
Now, there's a perfect example of a guy being patient, waiting for his pitch, and then taking care of it. Base hit.
Line drive center field. Throw to home. Runners in trouble to the third baseman. Safe at third. That's a base hit. 2 outs and the bases loaded. Up next, Shane Andrews. Line drive down the left side. Back to home. There's a run scored. That's a run-scoring single. Here comes Chris Widger. One and oh. Deep fly ball to center field.
The outfielder got a good jump on that ball. He turned it into a routine fly ball.
That's the third out with the bases left jammed. At the top of the second, it's tied at 1. Hit weakly to center field. Canicorn. 1 out and nobody on. Up next, Jason Kendall. Didn't find the plate. Ball. Line drive up the middle. Nice hit.
Well, I don't know about you, but this guy is really swinging the bat well. What a good at-bat that was.
Everybody knows about Jackie Robinson in Big League Baseball, but did you know that it all started professionally, Jackie, right here?
In Montreal, he was a member of the Montreal Royals and played here in 1946. Then the Montreal Royals was a Brooklyn Dodger farm team. This could be an opportunity to score some runs. Maybe they're going to start the runner right here.
Line drive up the middle. Toss to the first baseman.
Well, I tell you, that was a beautiful line drive. He smashed that thing.
Next batter, Carlos Perez.
This is a great time to bunt.
He missed the bunt. There's a bunt attempt by Perez. Throw to first. Over to second. Safe at second. 1 out, 1 on. Hitting 0 for 1, Mark Grudzielanek. Hit to center field. Easy play. No problem. Safe at second. 2 outs and 1 on. Hitting 0 for 1, Rondell White. Shallow pop fly to the right side. That's the third out with a runner in scoring position. At the top of the third, it's tied at 1. First up for the Pirates, Francisco Cordova.
With this guy at the plate, I'd be looking for the bunt.
Ground ball to second base. To first. He's out of there. 1 out and nobody on. Hitting 0 for 1, Tony Womack. Line drive up the middle. Five hits in the game for Pittsburgh.
He hit that ball as hard as you can hit it. That was some line drive.
The runner goes for second. Ground ball pulled down the left side. Nice hit by Young. One out and runners on first and second. Batting 1 for 1, Jermaine Allensworth. 0-1. Shallow pop fly up the middle. He's got it. 2 outs and 2 on. Swung on and missed. Hit to center field.
That outfielder got a great jump on that ball. He tracked it down and made a nice catch.
That's the 3rd out with 2 left stranded.
They got a couple of good, solid base hits, but they just weren't able to bring anybody around to score.
Today's action is brought to you by Extreme Doilies.
Because silky and sexy doesn't have to be sissy.
Extreme Doilies. The in-your-face doilies. Change up low and outside. Line drive pulled down the left side. There's a base hit. 1 on and nobody out. Batting 1 for 1, Ryan McGuire. Didn't find the plate. Ball. 1-0. Nice pitch. The count's 1-2. Another ball. Counts even. 2-2. Hit to center field. One out, 1 on. Next batter, F.P. Santangelo. Change up low and outside. 1-0. Not even close. Ground ball up the middle.
That was a bouncing ball that the infielders just couldn't make a play on. You know what? That moves him into scoring position.
1 out and 2 on. Change up down the middle. Hit deep to center field. He makes the catch. 2 outs and 2 on. Hitting 0 for 1, Chris Widger.
Jim, we talk about a can of corn. You know where that came from? In the old grocery stores, the corn used to be up on the top shelf, and the owner used to knock it down with a stick and then catch it in his apron. That's where the phrase came from, can of corn.
At the top of the fourth, it's tied at 1.
Looks to me like this game is going to be nip and tuck all the way, Jim.
Hit foul. 0-1. Ground ball up the middle. Throw to first. He got in. 1 out, nobody on. Hitting 0 for 1, Doug Strange. Goes with a pitch down the right side. Two outs, nobody on. Next up, Jason Kendall. Line drive up the middle.
Well, I tell you what, Jim, that was a pretty nice piece of hitting right there.
2 outs and 1 on. Line drive down the left side. Missed by the first baseman. A hit by Polkovich. Line drive up the middle. Got him. That takes care of the side with a man left in scoring position. Dead even in the fourth.
Well, that's another inning where they've stranded more than 1 run.
It's a ball. That pitch hit him. He'll take first.
The batter didn't like getting hit too much, but the best way to show up a pitcher is to check one out of the yard.
At bat, Carlos Perez.
This situation's got bunt written all over it. This is a situation where they're probably thinking about starting the runner.
0-1. That's a bunt by Perez. To the first baseman. Got him. He tags him out. Double play. 2 outs, nobody on. Hitting 0 for 2. Mark Brunzelevic. Line drive, sprayed down the right side. He's out of there. 3 up and 3 down. At the top of the fifth, it's tied at 1.
This game is going to be decided by the bullpens.
Ground ball flared down the left side. Toss to the first baseman. 1 out, nobody on. Up next with a run scored, Kevin Young. Line drive to center field. It's a single by Young.
Jim, that was a great at-bat. He didn't try to do too much. He just took what they gave him. Well, Jim, if I were in this situation, I'd start the runner right here.
Line drive up the middle. Throw to second. He's out of there. Safe at first. 2 outs and 1 on. The score is tied at 1. Batting 1 for 2, Al Martin. Taken down the right side. Routine catch. That's the third out with a man stranded. Dead even in the fifth. Swung through it.
Now, there's a good example of a guy that had one pitch on his mind. He had to be thinking about that curveball.
0-1. Hit to center field. Routine catch. One out, nobody on. Hitting 2 for 2, Vladimir Guerrero. Didn't find the plate. Ball. Changeup. Going inside. Line drive. Taken to left. There's a base hit. One out, one on. Batting 1 for 2, Ryan McGuire. Hit weakly to left field. Easy play. 2 outs and 1 on. Hitting 2 for 2, FP Santangelo.
Jim, coming through on plays like that can really change the complexion of a ball game.
After 5, it's tied at 1.
You know what they say, one break could swing the momentum one way or the other.
Hit to right field. No problem. 1 out, nobody on. Hitting 0 for 2. Doug Strange. Oh and 1. He's 0 for 2. Hit to center field. He makes the out.
That was good execution right there. That could really build the momentum in their favor.
2 outs, nobody on. Line drive, pulled down the left side. He gets it to first. He got it. 3 up and 3 down. Dead even in the 6th.
He was able to get the job done that time. A play like that can really help boost the ball club.
1 out, nobody on. Shallow pop fly to the right side. Play made. 2 outs, nobody on. Batting 1 for 1, Orlando Cabrera. Swoosh. Line drive down the left side. Over the first. Got it. 3 3 down. At the top of the 7th, it's tied at 1.
Today's game seems like a classic struggle. Both teams seem to be executing very well.
Didn't find the plate. Ball. 1-0. Pop up to first base. One out, nobody on. At bat, Turner Ward. The pinch hitter, Turner Ward.
Well, they better be on their toes. This might be a perfect time for him to drop down that bunt.
Hit to the pitcher. Good hit by Ward.
Jim, that ball looked like it had eyes just beyond the infielder's glove.
Deep fly ball to center field.
Well, that's an easy out. Nothing like that old routine fly ball to the outfield.
Missed by the second baseman. 2 outs and 1 on. Hit to center field. Safe at second. What a hit. 2 outs and 2 on. The score is tied at 1. Batting 1 for 3, Jermaine Allensworth. Deep fly ball to center field.
That outfielder made a good play on that ball. That ball looked like it was headed to the alley, but he caught up to it and made a nice catch. You know, Jim, coming through on plays like that can often be the difference between a win and a loss. Well, they did pick up a couple of hits, but they got nothing to show for it.
Okay, let's get up and have a 7th inning stretch.
Tonight's EA Sports Triple Play 99 game is sponsored by Bookmobile Cat, where service is second to none. Bookmobile Cat.
The relief pitcher, Esteban Loaiza. Hit down the line. He snagged that one with ease.
Boy, he was able to get the job done that time. That could really be a shot in the arm for the ball club.
2 outs, nobody on. Hit to right field. No problem. 3 up and 3 down. At the top of the 8th, it's tied at 1.
Jim, this game's probably going to come down to whose pinch hitter comes through.
The relief pitcher, Huguet Urbina. Line drive down the left side. Nice hit. 1 on and nobody out. Hitting 0 for 3, Jose Guillen. Goes with a pitch down the right side. Safe at first. 1 out, 1 on. You know what? They could have named this cost overrun stadium. Montreal's Olympic Stadium has now exceeded $1 billion in cost. The runner goes. Ground ball up the middle. Great hit. 1 out, runners on first and second. Hitting 2 for 3, Jason Kendall. Line drive up the middle.
Jim, he made a great diving catch on that hard-hit line drive.
Got him by a foot.
The second baseman did a great job of turning that double play.
Dead even in the 8th.
A good inning like that is just what they needed. A couple of runs scored now, and they're right back in this.
Ground ball down the left side. He gets it to first. One out and nobody on. Batting 1 for 3, Ryan McGuire. Hit to left field. No problem.
Talk about fundamentals. That was perfect.
2 outs, nobody on. Sprayed down the left side. Easy catch.
That was good execution right there. That could really build the momentum in their favor.
After 8, it's tied at 1.
You know what, Jim? This has been some great ball game. Both of these clubs came in here playing great baseball.
Ground ball down the line. Fair ball.
Boy, that ball had eyes on. Just found its way through the infield.
1 on and nobody out.
They've got some good speed on the base pass. Now they just have to move the runner over.
There's a bunt attempt by Loaiza. It's a bunt. Throw to first. He's out of there. Safe at second.
You know, Jim, coming through on plays like that can really change the complexion of a ball game.
He missed the bunt. He puts down the bunt. To first. He's out of there. Safe at second. 2 outs and 1 on. Hitting 4 for 4, Kevin Young. Straight up the middle. Score another run. RBI single by Young.
That was a nice piece of hitting.
Swing and a miss. 0-1. It's a ball. Line drive to second base. Toss to the first baseman. He got it. That's the 3rd out with a man stranded. Tight game.
Well, they got a couple of base hits and managed to scrape together a run.
0-1. Line drive up the middle. Throw to first. Got him. 1 out and nobody on. Hitting 0 for 3, Chris Widger. Ground ball down the line. Just a big foul. Line drive up the middle to the first baseman. Got him. 2 outs, nobody on. Batting 1 for 2, Orlando Cabrera. Line drive to second base. Over to first. A single by Cabrera.
What a great at-bat right there, Jim. He knew what he was looking for, got it, and didn't miss.
Okay, Buck. The relief pitcher, Andy Stankiewicz. left side.
Well, Huey, that was nothing to it. Little can of corn to the outfield.
This game is history, Buck. The final score, Montreal 1, Pittsburgh 2. They just had a better staff today.
Well, you know, Jim, their pitcher simply came through when he had to, right in those tough situations.